Did you know that the creator of Invincible once said that Mark Grayson, aka Invincible, could demolish Superman? Yep, you heard that right. Naturally, this bold claim set the fandom ablaze, with many fans fiercely debating its validity. But let's take a step back. Can this really be true? How strong is Mark Grayson, really? We first meet Mark as he discovers his powers, but as Omni-Man, his father, explains early on, Viltrumites only grow stronger with time. So the real question is, just how powerful will Mark get over the span of 100 years? Will he just be another average Viltrumite? Or is Mark Grayson destined to become the strongest hero in the universe? Let's dive into Mark's journey and break down his growth across different stages of his life. When Mark first gets his powers, he's far from being a powerhouse. In fact, he's more of a liability than anything else. Sure, he has enhanced strength, durability, and speed, but his lack of experience often leads to catastrophic mistakes. Take, for example, his encounters with the Flaxans. While Omni-Man barely breaks a sweat, Mark gets completely overwhelmed due to his underdeveloped abilities and inexperience. Omni-Man explains it perfectly. Mark is like a baby flyer. His powers are raw and untamed, much like a toddler learning to walk. It's no surprise that during this stage, Mark often finds himself bruised, battered, and barely holding his own in fights. Yet even in his weakest state, Mark shows glimpses of his true potential. For instance, he casually throws a garbage bag into orbit, where it lands in London days later. While this feat pales in comparison to what we'll see later, it's an impressive starting point. Here's an interesting fact. Although Mark is half human, his DNA is 99% Viltrumite. Viltrumite genetics are so dominant that Mark essentially inherits all of their abilities, including their signature slow aging, extreme durability, and unique atomic structure that allows them to survive insane conditions. For instance, Viltrumites can endure temperatures as extreme as the core of the sun, 27 million degrees Fahrenheit. And as the series progresses, Mark begins to showcase these abilities more prominently. Let's talk about speed. Early on in the story, Mark rescues a civilian by flying them to Antarctica in just 26 seconds. That's roughly 15,000 kilometers covered in less than half a minute, around Mach 1,700 or 1.3 million miles per hour. It's a jaw-dropping feat for someone so new to their powers. Strength-wise, Mark progresses rapidly. A few weeks into his training, he's bench pressing 400 tons, thanks to Cecil's specialized equipment. To put that into perspective, that's about the weight of 450 cows. Later, we see Mark lifting a massive stone support beam, a skyscraper-sized chunk of solid rock estimated to weigh thousands of tons. As Mark gains battle experience, his strength and durability skyrocket. One pivotal moment in his development is his encounter with Conquest, one of the oldest and strongest Viltrumites. Conquest is a living legend among his people, having never failed to conquer a planet. During their fight, Mark finally gets the chance to cut loose, unleashing his full strength for the first time. However, Conquest isn't just an opponent, he's a benchmark. Mark barely survives the encounter, and his victory comes at a heavy cost, including life-threatening injuries. Despite this, the fight reveals a crucial X-factor in Mark's abilities: his rage. Unlike other Viltrumites who suppress their emotions, Mark's ability to channel his anger gives him a unique edge in battle. In his most emotional moments, Mark's strength surges, allowing him to land devastating blows even against superior opponents. Mark's durability is another area where he truly shines. Viltrumites can survive almost any injury as long as their brain and heart remain intact. This is put to the test during his second fight with Conquest, where Mark is literally gutted, his insides spilling out. Yet he survives and recovers fully within months, a testament to his near immortality. Later, during the Viltrumite War, Mark's durability reaches new heights. Alongside his father, Omni-Man, and Thetis, Mark helps destroy the planet Viltrum by diving through its core. While Thetis and Space Racer's weapon do most of the heavy lifting, Mark still contributes to a feat that involves energy equivalent to 15 quadrillion megatons of TNT. As Mark matures, his speed becomes another area where he begins to outshine even veteran Viltrumites. After the Viltrumite War, he demonstrates faster-than-light travel, outrunning a spaceship designed for FTL speeds. While he can't maintain this speed for long durations, it's a clear indicator that Mark is becoming one of the fastest beings in his universe. Post-Viltrumite War, Mark's powers finally catch up to Omni-Man's. In one notable instance, the two engage in an arm wrestling match where they reach a stalemate. This confirms that Mark is at least on par with his father. However, Mark's growth doesn't stop there. One of the most fascinating aspects of Mark's journey is his ability to adapt and overcome seemingly insurmountable odds. For example, he survives exposure to a more potent version of the Scourge virus, a weapon designed to wipe out Viltrumites. This feat alone sets him apart from the rest of his species, showcasing his incredible resilience. Mark's journey takes another significant turn during his final battle with Thragg, the most powerful Viltrumite in history. Thragg literally rips Mark in half, leaving him and Eve on the brink of death. However, Eve uses her powers to rebuild Mark's body, inadvertently making him stronger in the process. This raises an intriguing question. How much stronger did Eve make Mark? Whatever the increase, it's substantial enough for Mark to immediately notice it without testing his limits. This boost proves instrumental in Mark's climactic showdown with Thragg, where he finally surpasses his father's legacy. The ultimate test of Mark's strength comes during his fight with Thragg. Thragg, the Viltrumite Emperor, is leagues above any other character in terms of raw power. He effortlessly defeats Omni-Man and tears through armies like they're nothing. Yet Mark manages to not only hold his own, but actually overpower Thragg. One of the most striking moments of the battle is when Thragg, unable to match Mark's strength directly, resorts to throwing his own children at Mark with such force that they explode on impact. This level of desperation highlights just how far Mark has come. He's no longer just a promising young Viltrumite, he's the strongest being in the universe. Mark's durability is nothing short of godlike by the end of his journey. He survives direct exposure to nuclear-level attacks and even tanks a massive explosion that vaporizes an entire city, leaving behind only a plate of glass. And let's not forget his feats against the Mantis twins, who wield a nuclear device capable of generating the largest solar flare ever recorded. Despite the immense power of these attacks, Mark walks away unscathed. In addition to his incredible strength and durability, Mark's speed becomes another defining feature. In one instance, he manages to outrun instant teleportation, proving that he's not just physically strong, but also blindingly fast. So, where does this leave us in the debate of Mark Grayson versus Superman? While Superman has decades of feats across countless continuities, Mark's growth trajectory suggests that he could eventually surpass even the Man of Steel. From surviving the core of the sun to traveling faster than light, Mark's abilities place him firmly in the upper echelon of comic book characters. In conclusion, Mark Grayson's journey from an awkward teenager to the strongest Viltrumite in history is nothing short of incredible. His strength, speed, and durability grow exponentially, making him one of the most powerful beings in the Invincible universe, and potentially beyond. While it's still up for debate whether he could demolish Superman, one thing is clear. Mark Grayson is no ordinary hero. He's invincible. And that's a wrap. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Mark Grayson's powers, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. Until next time, stay strong, and remember, nobody's truly invincible, except maybe Mark Grayson.